finally got a drill press. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we are going to continue working on the 4-link. As you can see, I got my drill press. I also got a new tool in today. This is the angle finder that I needed to start setting the pinion angle and make sure everything's the way it should be. Just a quick little update though, our province is still in a stay-at-home lockdown order, which means that we really can't do much. Barbers are still closed, as you could see, and on top of that, I started a new job. Like I told you guys in the past video, that other job was just a 2-week short call. That one ended and then a new one came up and I took that call. The good thing is that it's 4 days a week, 10-hour days, so I get my 40 from Monday to Thursday, and then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So that's when I'm going to be, you know, in crunch time, trying to get everything done and uploaded, and I'm going to try my best to stay as consistent as I can. Alright guys, so first thing I want to do is do something that I was supposed to do on the last video, and I'm going to see if the drill press is going to help me open these up a little bit. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot since we now have the drill press. And yeah, I want to get these ready and then we will start working on the car. These are the forks that will be going over the brackets on the axle, and the control arm is supposed to slip in here, but the control arm just doesn't fit, so I'm gonna have to open these up a little bit. But yeah, I'm just assuming that you guys have already seen the video because you guys are subscribed to the channel. Alright, so that idea was really good in my head and I was worried that it wasn't actually going to work. The actual process was fine, but let's see if the control arms actually fit through these brackets now. So these are the lower control, or sorry, these are the upper control arms, and that's what I need to fit through here. And they do. This is perfect. So essentially I'm going to set my length. I did order these a little too long. But that's the way I wanted to do it because, again, I didn't really know how I was going to do this. So I can easily cut this where I need and slide this where I need it to be and then weld it. And then I have my link right there. So I'm pretty happy that I got my drill press and I already made good use of it. So this is really good. Alright guys, so obviously I'm pretty excited because I got a new tool and it worked immediately and it's paid off, so I'm happy about that. And honestly, I've been dreading making this video because the 4-link just scares me for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I've come to the fact that I'm okay with if there's any issues. I think I can get it installed to the point where there's nothing major, but I'm going to probably see something where I can tweak it and make it better and adjust the angle. So I'm not too worried anymore. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna make it work, and yeah, I'm not gonna hesitate anymore. So I'm gonna get the axle in place where it needs to be, and then I'm gonna use my new angle finder to set the pinion angle, and I'm gonna start measuring the links, cutting them, and welding stuff together. So let's do that. Alright guys, so I've been adjusting the rear axle for a little bit now, and I'm pretty sure I have it almost exactly where it needs to be. I'm 1/16 of an inch over to the driver's side, so I still gotta, I'm over to the passenger side, sorry, so I gotta move it over to the driver's side 1/16 of an inch, and it's actually really hard to do that because every time I move it, it's going 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch, so I really gotta just move it a touch. But that's okay. For now, I want to try to set the pinion angle, and I've been messing around with the angle finder and it's working out pretty good. So let me show you what I've done so far. Okay, so we can set this. We're gonna have to zero it out. Okay, there it is, zeroed out. And now we can take it off and put it on the rear axle. Alright, so we got 87.9. We're going to want to get that to right there. Alright guys, so now that the axle is pretty much set where it needs to be, I'm going to start figuring out where I'm going to be putting the brackets and how I'm going to be bolting up the control arms. I think how I'm going to start is by getting these bolted up to the axle, because they're going to be going in, and I'm going to be able to slip the control arm in, and then I can mark where I need to cut the control arm. So the uppers should be fairly simple, and then we'll move on to the lowers. Alright guys, so we finished the uppers yesterday. I still gotta tighten all the bolts and nuts, but I mean, it's tacked in place. The bolts are through right now, just hand tight. So the uppers are set. Now we're going to move on to the lowers. So again, for the lowers, I'm going to have to cut them. But the thing is, with the lower control arms, I'll show you what I'm gonna be doing here. The intention for the lower control arm is to go into the bracket that they provide, which is the one I'm going to be welding to the bottom of the car here. And then the other end is going to be going into the axle with a very similar style connection here. And this is the piece that my buddy made for me. And what I'm going to have to do is, since I'm going to have to cut this, I'm going to have to re-drill this and to, you know, recreate that curve so that I can place that nice and snug in there and tack it in. So we're gonna get the measurement that we need, and we'll get started. Okay, I just forgot to record that, but I went underneath, and both spots where those brackets are going, I actually ground them down, and I'm just getting the weld through primer ready. I'm gonna spray them down, and then I'm gonna mark the brackets, and then we can figure out where they're gonna go. I know roughly where they're gonna be, but I had to get the whole area ground down so that when I want to tack, I got some clean metal to go off of. Alright guys, so I've cleaned the areas where the brackets are going to be going. So it's clean metal. I've sprayed some conductive paint, so it's like some weld through primer. So that'll protect the area, and I can still weld on it. And then yeah, I'm going to get this basically set up here. So I've bolted that in so that I can kind of get an idea. Put that up where I need it to go, and then I can get my measurement on where I need to cut it. Alright guys, so I've basically cut the control arms down to length, and then I've used my hole saw to kind of get that curved edge. It's a little bit smaller than it needs to be, but that's okay. It's still going to work. Now that I got the control arms down to the length that I need, I'm going to put them underneath the car and start tacking them in place. Oh, okay. If I said I wasn't tired, then I'd be lying, because I am beat. But you know what? I just have everything tacked in place right now, but we got a 4-link, guys. You can see right there, there's the upper, there's the lower. There's the upper, there's the lower. So what I'm going to do now is spend a little time getting a few more tacks, because really I only have like 2 tacks on each thing, so I want to just kind of get it in there a little bit more solid, and then I'm going to put the wheels on and drop the car down. I know I don't have any springs, but I'm going to put some blocks of wood between the frame and the axle. That way I can just at least have the car rolling around, and then I can figure out my ride height and everything after that. But yeah, we're going to have a static V8 Prelude, basically. 4x4, it's gonna be 4x4. Yeah, it's gonna be 4x4 pieces of wood, but yeah, we'll put the badge on there. Alright guys, so I've tacked it in all the spots that I thought are adequate for now. And now I'm gonna go around and tighten all the bolts and the nuts. And then I'm gonna just drop the car. Like I said, I'm gonna put the wood in between the axle and the frame. But I'm not gonna record most of that. I just wanna get to the point where I can get this car rolling. And this is only gonna work if I actually have enough time and the motivation to do it, but we're gonna try something here. All right, guys. It doesn't roll because I need air in the tires, but let me fill up the tires and we'll be good. My car rolls again. Oh my god, that's the best feeling ever. Well guys, it's not perfect, but it's done. I got a rolling chassis, so I feel good. Now we can move forward and start planning ahead. This has been one of the biggest things that has been holding me back from continuing on the project, but it's finally done. I still need to weld everything solid, but I mean, we got a rolling car, everything's good. So with that being said, I think we're going to end the video there. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm still going to keep going. Even though I'm working 10-hour days now with this new job, I feel good about it. I'm still going to have time on the weekends to work on this car because it's got me excited. We're at a great point right now with the project. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.